Hi, Kathy. Hi, Alex. Hi, Casey. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Danielle. Hi, John.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
Doing great, doing so good.
Hey,
Thanks for
look at
having me
me not
on.
in Grand Cayman scheduling you for this call.
How was it, by the way?
It was awesome. You guys didn't know that. John was like, hey, I'm trying to get on your call. And I was like, I'm in Grand Cayman. I don't know what happened. I'm not on that call.
It worked out perfectly, though, right? Worked out
Totally.
great.
You guys have never sat here for this. It's weird not to be in my office. Ryan's out of town. And so I'm like in the dining room I've been working. I'm like, oh, that's not a good view compared to normal in my office.
That's good. Great.
Like a weird light glow, but I've been getting a ton more done out here lately. All right, we're gonna wait just about another minute or two for some people to pop on and then we'll just get started.
Cool.
Yes.
Hi, Barbara. Hi, Samantha.
Hi there.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Hi, Kisa. Okay, well, I'm gonna mute. I don't know where everybody is tonight and go ahead with some announcements and we'll bring John on. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for dialing in for our weekly team call. I'm super, super excited to have a very special guest speaker on tonight. And while we are loading the call, and I'm just going to give a few updates for the Dreamers in Action team. I know there might be a couple other people joining from other teams because I opened it up. Our turkey burn, the 11-day, 9-day reset we're doing right after Thanksgiving starts on December 2nd. So use the next couple weeks to really get people excited about that, and just a quick kind of reset in the middle of the holidays after Thanksgiving, before New Year's and all the Christmas parties. So I want you guys to know about that. NYKO, John probably has the exact numbers, but that's like, I feel like on the verge of selling out. So you guys want to not only make sure that you have your ticket, but that you are getting your team there. I mean, the absolute best investment you can make in your business is getting someone to an event, but honestly, that's the best investment they can make in themselves. Learning the skill set, seeing our culture, learning about the products, learning about the compensation plan, and just making new friendships. Sometimes I think that like my favorite part of events is really truly learning about other people and what they're doing and just meeting these new friends. And the last little bit that I want to share with you guys, don't forget our Christmas cash promotion is going on right now. Ben Woods has already earned his way a spot into the drawing for the dinner and an NYKO ticket and an Amazon gift card. We're super excited. Sonia's doing really great. There's a lot of you that already have one enrollment. You just need one more to kind of be a part of that. And if you have not seen, tomorrow there is so much good stuff happening with the new plant-based Isopro and the new and improved Hydrate. So take a peek at that. Make sure you're checking out the post on our page, reading your ISA FYI, and please take the time to just share with your customers and friends and family what's coming. I think today we would all agree that we have so many notifications. We're just inundated with emails, and it's kind of hard to keep up with all of that. I put a text message together. I put it in our page, you guys, kind of what I'm talking about, but just one or two bullets about BIA, about the bone broth, about the new Hydrate, about the holiday giving guide, just to say, hey, take a look at this, because I care about them, and it's so hard for them to just miss it. Or if they've unsubscribed from the emails, taken themselves out of the Facebook group, they're just not seeing it, they're not knowing. And it's up to us as a business owner, right, as a coach to them, to take the time and just educate them and keep them in the loop. So that being said, I've messaged, not exaggerating, hundreds of people in the last couple of weeks. But last night I watched the BV change as people were placing orders, 8 new customers or reactivations in the last 2 weeks from it. So I'm just sharing that with you. I reached out to Alex and Danielle today, kind of talking about it, because because it's working, but it's about you just taking the time to keep our customers in the know about why Isagenix is so cutting edge, why we're still in the forefront, spearheading the nutritional world, and ultimately how to keep them healthy as we roll into 2020. So I am going to hush now and introduce our guest speaker, you guys. And John Raines is amazing. I've asked him to talk about the compensation plan tonight because I honestly think nobody does it better, and partially because he has so much experience on the field. Many of you don't know that John was a top income earner in the field with network marketing before he joined Isagenix. He's now on the corporate side. He says that it's up-leveled kind of his profession, but I love John because he's a hard worker, but he's real. He believes in you. He can just pour belief into anybody with this. He knows the number and the data and not a lot of hype, but absolutely a lot of heart. So I'm going to mute and just let you kind of maybe share your story a little bit, John, and then take it away. And if you need help sharing a screen or slides or anything, let me know on my end.
Sure, will do. Lauren, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. And I really appreciate you inviting me to be on your call. I got to tell you, everybody, I owe Lauren because she was willing to do presentation earlier at Celebration. I owed her big time because she crushed it. I hope everyone saw at Celebration how much she crushed it. It was absolutely amazing. So I owe you, Lauren. That's why I'm here. I owe you big time. Well, I'm really excited to talk to you because compensation plans are really interesting to me. They're really fascinating to me because I'm a dork. I'm a nerd, and compensation plans are really fascinating. I'll tell you why they're fascinating in just a second. But so my name is John Raines. I'm a redhead. And I look kind of like a leprechaun with my beard. So if you forget my name, which is a really common name, you can just say it's the redheaded guy that looks like a leprechaun. That's me. So I've been in the industry for 17 years. In fact, this November is my 17-year anniversary in this industry. So I've been in the industry on the corporate side of a lot of the big companies that you've heard about. I've also built and been very successful there and done really well. But that's given me a really unique perspective into compensation plans and into the way that they work and the way that they actually influence the culture of a company. Now, this is something that's really important to understand is the way that you interact with other people, largely in the team or other teams, a lot of that comes from the way a compensation plan is put together. There's other compensation plans out there that are not as collaborative as what we have at Isagenix, and it actually creates big rifts within the company and big rifts within teams and within leaders and other things. And it starts really back at the compensation plan. So I'm going to talk a little bit about compensation plans, but what I want you to understand is my whole premise of what we're going to be discussing is how compensation plans create the culture of a company. Okay. Now, just so you understand where our compensation plan has come from, our compensation plan was put together by Jim Coover. Now, Jim Coover had been a consultant and had worked with many, many different companies. So he had seen the ins and the outs of a lot of different compensation plans that were out there. In addition to that, Kathy Coover was also a part of building this compensation plan, and she had personally built to the top level of 3 different companies, top income level of 3 different companies. So they know what they're doing, not from a place of conjecture, not from a place of, we've really thought about this, or this is the theory of a compensation plan, but from the place of I've been there, I know what you're going through, I've done what you have done, now let's put it together in the right way. And I'll explain how all of that comes together. Now, does anyone here, by the way, speak another language besides English? Okay, so we've got a few people that speak another language besides English. I don't speak another language besides English. I just know cuss words and other languages, that's all I know. But what I know is when you learn another language other than English, from what I've heard is you actually learn more about your own language. Would you say that's true? Like Chris, would you say, Danielle, would you guys say, Alex, would you say that when you learn your second language, you understood your own language better, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about some different types of compensation plans so you can get a really good understanding of the types that are out there and how it relates to our compensation plan. Because what that'll allow you to do is kind of learn another language, and you can see yours from a different perspective. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. Every single company that's out there says our compensation plan is the best compensation plan in the world because it was written by our founders who walk on water when it's frozen and are the smartest people that have ever lived, ever. Every single company will say that. So as you're talking to other people, as they have their compensation plans, and they've been told that ours is the best, they will not believe you when you tell them the things that I'm going to teach you, okay? They will not believe you. So if you really want to talk to someone about their compensation plan, you ask questions, you don't tell them, okay? So I'm going to tell you some things and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to tell this to this person or to that person. I'm going to destroy their belief in their own compensation plan because John Raines told me how to tear apart their comp plan. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to ask them questions, and I'm going to help you to understand what to ask so you can understand the best way to do this. Okay, so let's talk about the different forms of compensation plans that are out there, because there's many different forms of compensation plans. Now, people will oftentimes say, well, I don't understand compensation plans. They're hard to understand. I don't like the math or anything. The truth is, you know compensation plans. If you have ever paid into a 401k, if you have ever received a W-2, if you have ever gotten vacation hours, that's all compensation plans. Those are all just compensation plans, right? Now, with those compensation plans that you get as an employee, the whole idea behind that is that the employer needs to pay you the least amount possible to get you to do your work. It's the truth. Give you the least amount of benefits possible to get you to do your work and be motivated, right? Now, some people get paid more, some people get more benefits, but their goal is to pay you as little as possible because their goal, their end game is to increase stakeholder value, which means to increase share value, which means to create higher profit, which if they're paying employees high wages, they make lower profit. That's just the way it is. Now, when it comes to our compensation plan, and it's not true in every compensation plan, and it's one thing that I do love about our industry is you're paid off of the products that people order. Now, would everyone agree that we have the very best products in the industry? Yeah, absolutely. We have the very best products in the industry. If someone uses our products, right, we are their very best chance at real health and wellness. Would you agree? Now, you make money, make commissions based off of people using those products and putting those products in their body, which is their very best opportunity for them to have real health and wellness. So I want to ask this question. If the money that you make in this compensation plan is based off of people using these products, which is their best opportunity at real health and wellness, which is more selfish, a large check or a small check? Which is more selfish? It's a small check. Because if you're earning a small check, it means that you're not sharing it with as many people as you possibly could have, which means not as many people are putting it in their body with their best chance at real health and wellness, right? When you're earning a large check, when you're making great money, it means you've helped a lot of people and you've helped those people help other people who've helped those people help other people. Does that make sense? So I want you, when it comes to money, I want you to change your mindset. You have to change your mindset if you're going to be successful. And I want you to change it to this. The more money I make in Isagenix, the more people I've helped. Okay? The more money I make in Isagenix, the more people I've helped. All right? If you can get that concept, you can absolutely crush it in this because you're changing it from it being about you to it being about them. And when it's about them, they're really going to resonate with it and you're going to have great success. So let's talk then about the different formats of different compensation plans. And there's a lot of different compensation plans that are out there because the industry's been around for a while. So there's things like stair-step breakaways, there's matrices, there's binaries, there's unilevels, there's hybrid plans. There are so many plans that are out there, okay? And you don't need to understand all of those plans. You don't. But I'm going to teach you a few things that'll be really beneficial for you, okay? The first thing we're going to talk about real quickly is an older plan that's some of the older companies use, and that's a stair-step breakaway. And the way that a stair-step breakaway works is you enroll people and you help those people to hit a certain level of success. And you make money on the volume that they create. But when they hit this level of success, they break away and you get paid less on them. The idea behind it is as you're bringing someone up the ranks and you're helping them, then they become more independent and then they can go and do it on their own. But that's not how it actually works. That's great in theory, but that's not how it actually works. A lot of times as you're stepping someone through the ranks, sometimes they need more help because they're growing really fast, right? So stair-step breakaways are something that shows up in a lot of older companies that's still around. But how would you feel if you were building people and then as soon as they hit a certain level of success, they broke away and you made less money on the volume that they created? That would be really disheartening for me, okay? So if you think about how that culture works, the better your people do, the quicker they'll break away, which is not wonderful. Stair-step breakaway. The next one is a matrix. So a matrix is any plan where they automatically place where your people go next, okay? So they auto put where your people go, right? Which it was a little bit more common a few years ago. It's not as common now because it takes out your personal ability to make decisions about how everything is going to come together, which is really important because you need to be able to decide where someone's going to be going. You see their potential. You see what they're going to be doing. And a computer program can't tell you how to do that. So that's a matrix, okay? Then the next two that we're going to talk about are the ones that we're going to spend the most time on because they're the most common and they're the ones that you're most likely to come across as you're building. So the first one that we're going to talk about is a unilevel, and then we're going to talk about binary, okay? So Isagenix is a binary compensation plan, but we're going to talk about unilevel first. Now, a unilevel is I'll tell you the good and the bad, because every comp plan has good and bads about it, but I'll tell you the good and bad about a unilevel compensation plan. So a unilevel compensation plan, the good about a unilevel compensation plan is that it's really easy for people to understand. And that's about where the good ends, okay? And that's not, I'm going to tell you, and you will not believe that people build these. So it is really easy to understand. It's basically you have a level of people that you enroll, and that's your first level. And then they enroll people on the next level, that's the second level. Then they enroll people, that's your third level. So unilevel, okay? And it goes down a certain amount of levels that they get paid out on, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, if I can, I'm going to show you this real quickly, what a unilevel versus a binary is, just briefly, so you can just kind of see the way that those work. Okay. So you get to see the crew there. That's the whole crew. But if you see this, what you can see is this is a binary versus a unilevel. So this is a unilevel right over here, and this is a binary, okay? So a unilevel, you sign up people, they're on your first level, and then they sign up people, that's the second level, then they sign up people, that's the third level, then they sign up people, that's the fourth level, and on and on and on. So the good of a unilevel, again, is that they're very easy to understand, okay? But let's talk about how this works. So the way that it will work then is that you will have a certain amount of levels that you're paid deep, and then you hit a terminal level. A terminal level is the last level that you'll get paid on, okay? So oftentimes this will go between 7 to 9 levels deep that you can get paid on, and then it cuts off. You don't get paid anything deeper than that. So let me help you understand this. You sign people up, who sign people up, who sign people up, who sign people up, down a certain amount of levels, and then you get paid a percentage on each one of those levels, okay? So let me tell you the problem with that when it comes to the terminal level. I had a friend who was the #1 check earner in another company. It was a unilevel company, and this guy was making crazy money, crazy boy band money in this. And so he was doing well, and he had a friend that was on his first level, okay? Let's say this is his friend, on his first level, who was really trying, but not really producing a ton. So really trying, not producing a ton. And so my friend here said, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put someone underneath you. I'm signing this person up. They're going to be great. I think they're going to be great. I'm going to sign them up underneath you. So I'm going to enroll them, but I'm going to put them on my second level. Okay. So he did that. Now let me tell you what happened. Anytime that you put someone in a unilevel plan, anytime you put anyone that you enroll not on your first level, you're actually putting them one level closer to the terminal level, which means any volume that they create is one level closer to you not getting paid on it. So he did that. He put one person that he brought on his second level to motivate this person on his first level. He was working collaboratively. And he says that that one mistake over 10 years cost him $6 million. You heard me right, $6 million. That's how much it cost him over 10 years because he made that one mistake. Because when he put that one person on his second level, it put that person who blew up, this person on his second level blew up. When he put that person on his second level, All the volume that they created blew up, but it got to that terminal level quicker, which means anything past that, he wasn't paid out, which is a big problem. So $6 million over 10 years is how much he lost, which is an insane amount of money to lose from one minor mistake trying to help someone out. Now, this is what happened then. So these unilevel companies learned this. They were like, oh my goodness. Anytime you put someone who not on your first level, it brings them closer to the terminal level, the end level. They're not going to get paid anymore. It puts them closer to that level, and so they don't get paid on the volume that they're creating. This is a problem. We know how to fix it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to create something called dynamic compression. Okay, so this is something that's common in unilevel companies as well, is they'll say, well, we have dynamic compression, which means if there's any volume that goes beyond a person's terminal level, we'll still pay it out to them as long as there's no one at a rank above that or below them that would absorb that. So I'll tell you this. I was in the corporate end of a very large unilevel oil company, and I had a leader come up to me and say, John, I've got to talk to you. I've got a real problem in my business. A real problem in my business. And I'm like, wow, what's going on? I knew her business. I thought it was doing really well. And she said, my volume is going through the roof. And my leaders are hitting new ranks that they've never hit before. I was like, that's great. That sounds like a wonderful thing. What's the problem with that? And she said, the problem is that my check keeps going down. I was like, how is that possible? How is it possible that your volume is increasing and your leaders are increasing in rank, but your check is going down? So we looked into it, and this is what was happening. Because of dynamic compression, which means that the people below the terminal level, below that lowest level where they get paid, because of dynamic compression, it was going up, and she was receiving all of that volume before. But when her leaders started to hit new ranks, they were collecting that new volume that was coming up, which means they were blocking the volume from coming up past the terminal level and hitting her, which means the better her leaders did, the higher the ranks they hit, the more it hurt her personal check. Okay, I hope everyone understood what I just said. There is a compression trap, dynamic compression in unilevels, where after someone has been getting this dynamic compression, if their leaders block them from getting this dynamic compression, it will make their checks go down. So think about the way this impacts someone's culture when they're building this business. The better their leaders do past a certain level, they make less money. They're not necessarily excited that their leaders are doing well. It's true. I have seen it. I have seen bitter battles start because of this. Can you believe how horrible that is? All right, so let's talk about the next problem with unilevels, which is one of my favorite problems with unilevels, which is called rank hostaging. So what rank hostaging is it says, if you're going to be a gold, and I'm making these well, I'm alluding to ranks that are very real in other companies, but let's say that someone says, well, I'm going to be a gold, and to be a gold, I have to have a certain amount of bronzes, okay? And then to be a platinum, I have to have a certain amount of silvers, okay? So let's say that to be a diamond, I have to have 4 silvers, okay? So the way that it will work in other companies, they'll say, as you're increasing in rank, other leaders that you're bringing on, your personally enrolled leaders, they also need to increase in the rank. Now compare that to where we are with Isagenix, which is you need to have a certain amount of consultants. And it doesn't take too long to build a consultant. It can take, to build a consultant, you can do that in an evening, right? At a party, you can do that. But with these, for instance, silvers, let's say building a silver, and this is the actual numbers from another company, it would take 18 months on average to build a silver. So for you to be at a diamond level, you need to have 4 silvers, and it takes about 18 months to build a silver. So this is what would happen. These people would be growing, and they'd be going from, these different ranks, by, bronze, and then all the way up to silver, and then they're on their way up. So what they would find is they'd say, oh, okay, well, I am your silver. You're my diamond. I am your silver. I'm one of your 4 silvers. And I know for you to stay paid at diamond, right, which means a lot of money for them, for you to pay at diamond, I need to be at silver, which means you need me more than I need you, because it's going to take you 18 months to build another silver to replace me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you build my business. I'm going to let you build my business, get to work on my business. I'm going to collect the check, and this benefits you because as a diamond, you have to have me at silver for you to stay at diamond, which is a big impact on your income. It's hostaging. So one thing that's very common in unilevels is rank hostaging, where literally the team, the downline, these people who are building with you will say, listen, you need me more than I need you. You're going to build my business for me because it's easier for you to build my business for me than it is for you to go out and find another silver. Very, very common in unilevels companies. It's called rank hostaging. The other part of unilevels is they'll normally pay out. They'll pay out sometimes like some of their fast start bonuses and other things. They'll pay that out weekly, but the majority of their check comes monthly. So their big check comes monthly instead of weekly, which we pay. They pay out monthly. And when they do that, they pay it out monthly. They'll often pay it out in the middle of the following month. Can you imagine waiting that long to get paid? The middle of the following month. So you finished everything that you've done all the way through October, and now you have to wait till the middle of November to get paid on it. But what's worse is any volume that you didn't get paid out flushes, which means every month, on the first of every month, you're starting at zero again. You rebuild your business at zero at the beginning of every single month. It's brutal, but it's the way that the unilevel compensation plans work. So you've got terminal level, you've got the compression trap, you've got rank hostaging, you've got volume flushing. There's a lot of problems that happen with unilevels. Now let's talk about binaries, okay? Now binaries are two legs. You have a left leg and you have a right leg, okay? Now I'm gonna tell you the bad about binaries before I tell you the good about binaries. The bad about binaries are that sometimes it's hard for people to conceptualize or understand a binary, right? It's easier for someone just to think, oh, okay, I sign people up and they sign people up and they sign people up, okay? The way unilevel works. But there are a lot of inherent problems that we just talked about when it comes to a unilevel. So a binary, the downside of a binary, straight up, is sometimes it's hard for people to understand. I have a left team and a right team. But as soon as they understand that, then that's the hardest part of a binary. Left team, right team. As soon as they get that and they conceptualize it, they're good to go. The best way to help someone understand a binary is to get them paid in a binary. Help them get someone on their left, help them get someone on their right. And then they're like, oh, I get this. This is not as complicated as I was making it, right? Most of the time, people are making it more complicated, okay? So what's phenomenal about it is there is no terminal level in a binary. In our binary, there's no terminal level. You can get paid level after level after level all the way down, okay? Now that's amazing. I have to tell you, it's absolutely amazing in our industry to be having that levels go and go and go and go and go, right? You can get paid out on it. There's no terminal level. In addition, you can also place people underneath people underneath people. Let's say you signed up the yellow people here, you're the blue person here, and you've signed up these yellow people here, and then you put a red person here. You now in the binaries, you only ever place people on the outside right, or I'm sorry, on the outside outsides. So you put someone here. Now that does not hurt you at all. If you put someone on the outsides, it doesn't hurt you to put someone underneath Mr. Yellow here, right? Now, if you did that in a unilevel, it would hurt you because remember, you're putting them closer to the terminal level. So this is what I want you to think about when it comes to how these two plans impact culture. With a binary, it does not hurt you to put people underneath people underneath people, right? Because at the end of the day, you just have a left and a right. It just looks at the volume of those teams on the left and the right. It doesn't hurt you whether you put someone underneath someone else, but it does help those people that you put it underneath. If you've ever had someone go underneath someone underneath you, that's a pretty fun thing. That's a pretty cool thing. And it doesn't hurt the upline. It doesn't hurt the team above you. And in fact, it helps them. However, in a unilevel, the only way to maximize a unilevel, and this is scary, the only way to maximize a unilevel is to put everyone on your first level. Never put someone on your second level. I want to reiterate that. The only way to maximize a unilevel is to put everyone on your first level and never put someone underneath someone else. Because if you do, it could cost you $6 million in 10 years. Does that make sense? If in a binary you put someone underneath someone else, it doesn't matter. That's great. It's good. It's wonderful. It's more volume for everybody. It's wonderful. It's collaborative. They might not even be in your personal enrollment tree. It doesn't matter. They're still showing up there. It's still volume. It's still benefiting you. So it's a far more collaborative plan, okay? A binary is a far more collaborative plan. With a unilevel, put everyone on your first level, and then really they are in competition with each other. Think about that. In a unilevel, you put everyone on your first level, and then they're all kind of in competition with each other, which is a scary thing. It's a really scary thing. So I want to tell you, though, about the bad part of a binary, other companies' binaries, not Isagenix binary. Now, I have built a binary before personally, and we made 6 figures. We did great, crushed it. But when I came onto Isagenix, I learned how our binary worked and how it was different than the other binary compensation plans that are out there in the industry. And when I understood how it was different, I realized that I had lost tens and tens of thousands of dollars if I had built the same amount of volume that I had built in the other company, but just built it in Isagenix binary. I would have made tens of thousands of dollars more than I did in the binary plan that I was building with before. So what I want to talk to you about is what other binary compensation plans will do. And this is very common in other binary compensation plans. What they'll do is they will put in what's called rank-based pay caps, okay? So what they're basically saying is instead of paying you out infinitely, okay, what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, so if you're a manager, you can only earn $500 a week. And if you're a director, you can only earn $1,000 a week. And if you're an executive, you can only earn $2,000 a week, okay? And on and on and on. So you max out the amount of money that you can earn in a week based on what your rank is. Now that's not what Isagenix does, but that's what other companies will do. So anytime someone sends me a binary compensation plan and says, what's wrong with this plan? I'll just look at how they pay out based on ranks. And most every other binary compensation plan does this thing. So what they do then is they limit the amount of money you can make. Now I want you to think about this as you're building your business, as you're building your Isagenix business, a lot of the money that you make, you're reinvesting in the business, right? You're reinvesting, you're coming to NYKO, you're showing up at the events, you're putting on events yourself, you're reinvesting it. So if a company was to limit the amount of money you could make based on your rank, even though you might have the cycles there, you have the volume there, they're limiting in the amount of money that you can make based on your rank. They're shooting themselves in the foot because you would have invested a lot of that money anyways back into your own business. Does that make sense? So Isagenix does not have rank-based caps, but most other binaries have a rank-based cap. So if you want to tear apart another binary, just look at how much money they can earn in a week, okay? Is it based on rank? Is it 500? That's what you can get at this rank. So I want to give you a scenario. Now this is just mathematical scenario, but it helps you understand the difference between us and other companies. So let's say that you, and I wouldn't want this to happen to anyone, but let's say that you went to an event, you put on this event, and you signed up your 2 best friends, Mr. Yellow and Mr. a little bit yellow over here. You signed them up, got them going that night. You drove home, you got into a car accident. Horrible car accident, you were in a coma. You got into a coma, okay? After you'd signed them 2 up, 1 on your left, 1 on your right. And let's say that these 2 yellows, they said, you know what? We're going to do this for our good friend. We're going to do this. We're going to crush it. So they go out, you're in a coma. They go out and they build like crazy and they maximize both legs. They blow it up in a big way. Both legs have blown up. Now, what's the amount of money that you'd be earning if both legs were maxed out when you woke up from your coma several years later? You could earn $13,500 a week. $13,500 is the amount of money you would wake up to, right? If that happened, if that scenario happened, mathematically, that's the way it would work, okay? So there's no cap on what you're paid, even if you just sign up the 2 people, okay? If the volume's there and everyone's active, you're good to go. You're making money, even if you were in a coma for several years, right? Now let me play this out with another compensation plan or another binary. If you had another binary that had rank-based caps, let's say that they said, well, as a manager, the most you can ever earn as a manager is $500 a week. And your friends, you sign them up You got into that car accident. You're in a coma. You wake up. Your friends did this for you. They crushed it. They went out there and they maxed up both legs. With that other compensation plan, how much money would you be earning every week? You'd only be earning $500 because that company has a rank-based cap and you're only a manager. Can you see the short-sightedness of something like that? It's a big problem, but it's not a problem that we have at Isagenix because of who Jim Coover is and his understanding of compensation plans, and because of who Kathy Coover is and her understanding of compensation plans. Not theoretically understanding compensation plans, but having their hands in it, making it happen, paying the price to build a business. That's the kind of insights that you get from our compensation plan that are vastly different than the other types of compensation plans that are out there. So you think about it, our binary compensation plan is far more collaborative. It doesn't have rank-based caps. You earn on the volume that you create, regardless, up to $13,500 a week, okay? It's bananas. It's amazing. And there are so many advantages. So with our Isagenix binary, we have collaboration without entitlement. We encourage teams and not silos. Remember, in a unilevel, it creates silos, not teams. It creates silos because everyone's on your first level. And infinite depth. There's no terminal level. And no monthly flushing of volume, no rank hostage, no compression trap, and no rank-based pay caps. So when it comes to building a business, if you are going to build a business, you want to be building an Isagenix binary business. I am telling you, as someone who has built a unilevel, and I have personally built a unilevel, and I've personally built a binary. I have been on the corporate side of stair-step breakaways. I have seen compensation plans inside and out, and I have seen how they dictate really the culture of a company. And this is the best compensation plan out there. I dare any compensation plan to go up against it. And I will regularly tear apart comp plans. In fact, there's a podcast, if you go to isagenixpodcast.com and just look up John Raines, comp plans in the industry, I have a whole a whole podcast where I just tear apart comp plans and go through a lot of what we've discussed, but it's something that you can learn, okay? So I promise you, the plan that we have pays out more generously than any other plan that's out there. And you can tear apart other comp plans. Now, as I warned you at the beginning, you're going to want to go and talk to your friends who are in unilevel compensation plans or who are in stair-step breakaways or who are in binaries. And you're going to want to say, hey, you're wasting your time. You could be making so much more money with us. But I'm telling you, they've been told, oh no, our compensation plan was written by someone they were super smart. This person was really smart. And so we have the best comp plan in the industry. So what I want you to do is ask them questions about their compensation plan. Ask them. If you want to tear apart another person's compensation plan, ask them questions about it. If they're in a binary, say, well, what's the limit that you can earn in a week based on your rank? And they'll say, well, I mean, if you're at a double manager level, then you can be earning 500. But if you're at a super galactic level, then you can be earning 1,500. And that's how that works. And you'd be like, oh, that's great. That's interesting. Because that's not how it works with my plan. Like, I can be a manager and I can earn 13,500. I mean, mathematically, it's possible every week. So that's interesting that your plan doesn't do that, but my plan does. That's really interesting. So, right? Or if you got someone who's in a unilevel, you can say, you know, if you whatever it is, I mean, unilevels are, to be honest, they're pretty easy to tear apart through all of the things that I just took you through. My goodness, it's horrible, right? So you can tell someone, so after a certain level, like how many levels down do you get paid in your unilevel? They'd be like, well, we get paid 8 levels, which is better than people who get paid 7 levels, which is better, you know, it's better. You say, oh, cool. So what about volume past that? Well, you don't get paid that. Oh, or they'll say, well, we have this thing called dynamic compression, and dynamic compression pushes the volume above that level, so you get paid out on it. You can say, well, what if you have people below you that block that because they've hit a certain rank? What happens? Do you still get paid that dynamic compression? And I promise you, they will not know, or they will not want to tell you. Okay? So the other thing is, you can talk to them when it comes to a unilevel. You can say, Well, so how do you increase in rank? Well, first you have to have a certain amount of bronzes, then you have to have a certain amount of silvers, then you have to have a certain amount of golds, then you have to have a certain amount of white golds for you to grow up through the rank. And you're like, well, how long does it take you to build like a silver? I mean, how long is it? And they'll say, well, there was this one person once that did it in 2 days. You say, yeah, sure, but what's the average person that you've seen in your business? How long does it take them to do it? Well, 18 months. Okay, so 18 months. So what if one of your silvers though falls out of rank? What happens to you? Do you stay at rank? Well, no. Does that influence how much money you're making? Well, yes. It's crazy because my company's not like that. That's crazy. Because like if someone was like trying to tell me that I needed to build their business for them, I would just say no, and I would just go build a consultant because it only takes me like a day to do that. So people can't really hold me hostage, but it sounds like people can hold you hostage in your business. I don't know if that means my comp plan's better than yours, but it feels like it. It feels like it, right? So what I challenge you to do is I challenge you as you're talking to other people on other compensation plans, ask them questions. Don't just directly attack their compensation plan, because what they've been told is, your compensation plan is the best ever. It was written by people who studied stuff and they knew things and they studied it. The compensation plan that you're a part of was built by people who have built it, not people who have studied it. And it creates vastly different conclusions, okay? So ask them questions to best understand how to tear apart their comp plan. And I promise you, Isagenix has the best comp plan that's out there. Again, I personally would have made tens of thousands of dollars more every year if I had built with the same amount of volume in the Isagenix plan as I had with my previous company that I had built. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Okay. So listen to the podcast as well if you'd like to get some of these things down again that you can use to help you as you're talking to other people about their compensation plans. But what I hope this has helped you understand is what a great compensation plan we have, right? We have the best compensation plan that's out there. And man, if people understood that, they were open to it, they would make a lot more money with us. And you can't blame someone. If they want to make less money, that's on them. That's some people want to make less money. And you can just say, that's okay. If you want to lose money on the table, that's for you to not make that money. But I personally think money's great. So I want to go make that money. Does that make sense? So I hope this has been a little bit helpful in helping you understand the different types of comp plans that are out there and why we really do have the best compensation plan in the industry. Now, I think we're out of time. Is that right, Lauren?
We are, but I have one quick question if you have like 2 more minutes. And the first thing, because I forgot to do it earlier, and I'm so sorry, Laura, but for any of you in St. Louis, and I know there's a lot of you here in St. Louis, you should come December 7th. It's a Saturday. John and I are both traveling to Laura for a Super Saturday. So all of you Midwest St. Louis people, I better see you there. But my final question, John, and this is amazing, and thank you, and I'm going to unmute so everyone can pour some love into you, but I've just had fun interviewing over our 90-day game plan, a bunch of people and just random questions. But what is your absolute favorite Isagenix product? And if you could walk us through like a day and how you use the products, like what do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll tell you what my favorite product used to be. My favorite product used to be the chai vanilla dairy-free shake. For some reason, every morning, it's like 2 drops of lemon oil, scoop of Ionix powder, and then the chai dairy-free is like, it's my jam. It makes me feel so good. I've started mixing in some of the products that are coming tomorrow, and it's phenomenal. Like, I love it. That's my breakfast every morning. It's my breakfast. And I'll normally have a bar or something for lunch. Now, my whole family lives off of Isagenix. In fact, most of us don't eat anything but Isagenix until dinner. I'm not even kidding. My kids and my wife are better at it than I am, and they're ripped up like Rambo, right? Like my kids are in better shape than I am because they're like so good at it. But my previous favorite product, and I still love it every morning, is the vanilla chai. I love it. But I have to tell you, I've been using a lot of Isogenesis lately. And I've used it before in Complete Essential with Isogenesis, but I've been taking more of it. So I did kind of a higher dose for a little while, for a short period of time. And it's just me. It's just how I felt. I have had better energy. I have slept better. I have gone back to the gym. Like, it's been a while since I've been back in the gym working it out. I have more energy. I've been more excited about going to the gym, and I felt better. So my current favorite product is Isogenesis. I can't stop taking it. Like, I'm telling you right now, I take so much Isogenesis because I feel so good. So right now, the product that I use more than just about anything else is Isogenesis.
Yours is not bone broth. Laura and I send our like selfies of bone broth every day. I'm like, hey, on the call with my bone broth. Okay, let me unmute. This was amazing. It was so good. You guys just say goodnight to John and thank him. It is almost 8 o'clock his time. He's home with his kids and pouring into all of us.
Bye.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Good night. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Thank you, Lauren.
So tomorrow,
Bye.